Hi, my name is Chauncey Montgomery, Director of Community Library in Sunbury. We'll be interviewing the four candidates for the two open seats for the Big Walnut Board of Education, those being Stephen Fuji, Zach Duffey, Brandon Hogue, and Todd Smith. These interviews are a partnership between the Big Walnut Civic Association, the Delaware Area Career Center, and the Community Library. We'd like to thank the students that helped film the interviews as well as editing the segments for distribution later. And then we'd also like to thank the four candidates for taking time out of their busy schedule to sit down and talk with us. We'd like to welcome Zach Duffey, a candidate for the school board. And to get started, we'd like to ask you, why are you running for school board?
Thank you for having me. First, thank you for putting this together. Why? Well, I love the Big Walnut community. I've got 6 kids in the district, 4 enrolled, so I'm vested heavily. I'm a business owner, and as a business owner, I have developed the ability to step out of my business so that I can take a bird's eye view of the big picture of all of the working parts of my business. And that is very important in making decisions that promote growth for my business, that promote sustainability for my business. And I see that as a very valuable asset for a school board member.
Okay. So in the next 5 years, what issue do you think will be the most challenging for the district, and how do you plan to tackle it?
Well, the obvious issue is the issue of development, land development, whether it's residential, commercial, industrial. So what we do right now is very important for planning for the next 5 years. How do I plan to tackle that? Partnerships with city council, with the municipalities, the townships, communication, over communication, so that we can look out for our district and also know that we're looking out for the cities and that they're looking out for us in the decisions that happen during the growth over the next 5 years.
How do you balance issues of staff retention and district growth while also leading the district towards financial stability?
I plan to pull up a seat at the city council meetings, the monthly meetings that they have. I have already met with the mayor of Sunbury. He's a great guy. He invited me over to teach me. I was reaching out for help to learn more about that side of things, and it came to my attention that I should ask if I could come to the meetings and then take real-time information on their whatever I'm allowed to know based on their negotiations and bring that back to the school board so that we can evaluate what they might be doing and determine if that's going to be helpful or have a negative impact or indifferent, and be able to communicate that back to them. That's about it.
Okay. So how do you suggest our district promote unity and continue moving forward when challenges such as school security, book selection, and also parental rights spur division?
Well, division has always been part of human nature. It's been around since the beginning of time, and it's always going to be here. Division is dangerous when it causes animosity, when it causes hatred, almost instantly. Sometimes through hearing certain trigger words or being reminded of past scenarios. There's a way to embrace division, disagreements, and it truly starts with listening more than we speak. and that's what a school board member ought to do, is listen more than he speaks. And I've got a history of doing that. So regarding division, I think that we can utilize that and understand each other better if we simply apply that principle that we have 2 ears and 1 mouth.
And then finally, and probably most importantly, how will you be an advocate for all the students at Big Walnut?
That is a challenging thing to do. I think it can be a challenging thing to understand or explain. And so what I want to say is first, I think that there's the likelihood that some students want one thing while other students want another thing, and those two things that are wanted can appear to be opposite of each other. And so how can anybody ever advocate for two opposites? I think that I would advocate most efficiently for all students by reviewing curricula, keeping an eye on, what is it, what's being taught in the classrooms. Is it fact-based, classical education? Is it building students to, be successful on tests? We're in a time right now where in many classrooms we're spending a good amount of time discussing this sort of cloud of, you could call them ideologies or things that are not fact-based, not classical education. And while that may benefit some students to discuss those things, it doesn't benefit all students. And it's clear that not all parents want that many parents want the fact-based education that we've had for so long. And so advocating for all students for me, is to ensure that we are teaching the facts in class, and we're spending minimal time, if any time, on this sort of moving cloud of ideologies that seems to change from year to year. And we don't really understand what these ideas are, where they came from in the present, but in retrospect, we can see, I see why they're talking about that. I see why they brought that idea up and spent so much time. But at the same time, we can't do that if test scores are failing. And unfortunately, the graduating class of 2022 across the state of Ohio had the lowest ACT score since 1990. And I think there's some systemic things going on that could be discussed if we're willing to listen to each other. Certainly COVID exacerbated, some of those things, and students are having a hard time with, getting the scores that we used to see.
All righty. Well, I appreciate you taking the time to talk with us tonight, and wish you the best of luck.
Thank you very much.